And when I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most over-the-top acts of revenge in movies.
Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that!
For this list, we'll be looking at the most elaborate, intricate, and brutal acts of revenge. We'll be diving into some spoilers, so consider this your warning. Is there an act of revenge so crazy that we missed? Avenge it by telling us in the comments below. Number 10, a heated performance, Inglourious Basterds.
Donc vers le milieu de la troisième, tu descends, tu fermes la salle à clé, t'attends mon signal, tu mets le feu.
This Tarantino film follows a group of soldiers, most of whom are Jewish, who devise a plan to assassinate Adolf Hitler and other Nazis attending a propaganda movie premiere.
And I want my scalps!
They aren't the only ones, though. Shoshana Dreyfus, the woman running the theater, also wants revenge.
Who wants to send a message to Germany?
I have a message for Germany. That you are all going to die.
She's herself edited into the final cut of the movie, where she declares that the audience will all die. Sure enough, that's what happens. The theater's set ablaze, Hitler's gunned down by the bastards, and the other Nazis perish in a fiery mix of flames and bullets. Oh, and all while the recording of Shoshana laughs in the background. It's gruesome, but ultimately so satisfying. Number 9, seeking retribution as the Crow. The Crow.
Suddenly, I heard a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. What are you talking about? You heard me rapping, right?
When Eric Draven and his fiancée Shelley are murdered, a mystical crow revives him. Now superpowered, Eric has one goal: make the killers pay.
Victims, aren't we all?
While everyone gets their comeuppance, Eric saves the best punishment for last. He meets the one responsible for it all, a drug lord named Top Dollar. They sword fight on the roof of a giant church, all while rain comes pouring down. Eric wins when he forces Top Dollar to experience the 30 hours of agony that Shelley endured in the hospital, all in a few seconds.
I am gonna miss you.
I have something to give you. I don't want it anymore.
Top Dollar's stock then plummets when he slips, getting impaled by a gargoyle statue. Number 8, justice for Nina, promising young woman. After Cassie Thomas's best friend Nina was assaulted, she took her own life. Years later, Cassie decides to get revenge against everyone she believed failed Nina.
Was it reported?
Yes.
Do you know who Nina spoke to?
You.
What follows is an elaborate series of mind games and tricks against lawyers, school deans, and eventually the perpetrator, Al Monroe.
I was affected by it too, okay? I mean, it's every guy's worst nightmare getting accused like that.
Can you guess what every woman's worst nightmare is?
When Al saves himself from being Cassie's hostage, he kills her in the struggle. But even her own death isn't enough to stop her. The ending is a serious testament to Cassie's persistence. It's eventually revealed that Cassie arranged several key pieces of evidence to release after her death, all conclusively linking Al to Nina's assault.
You're Alexander Monroe? Yep. You're under arrest for the murder of Cassandra Thomas.
No.
Officer, please remove the bride.
I'm sorry, this is a
You have the
mistake.
right to remain silent.
Talk about an act from beyond the grave. Number 7, keep the change. X-Men First Class.
Ich selbst drei. Und du bewegst die Münze. Wenn du die Münze nicht bewegst, schieße ich. Verstehst du?
Before they were Professor X and Magneto, they were Charles Xavier and Eric Lenscher. First Class tells the story of how the two met and formed the first wave of X-Men. But masquerading underneath good intentions is Eric's hunger for revenge against Sebastian Shaw, the mutant who killed Eric's mother during the Holocaust.
We are the future. But unfortunately, you killed my mother.
The X-Men stop Shaw using Charles' telepathy, but with the former now frozen, Eric sees the perfect opportunity, leading to the movie's tensest moment.
This is what we're going to do.
No. Please, Eric, no.
I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to move the coin.
Eric uses his power of magnetism to send a coin through Shaw's head. Shaw can't move or speak, but he can experience all of the pain. Not only does Eric get a satisfying revenge, but he also takes Shaw's helmet and repurposes it as his own. Number 6, building up a criminal empire, Skyfall.
You're smaller than I remember.
Whereas I barely remember you at all.
Strange. For me, it feels just like yesterday.
In Daniel Craig's third outing, we're introduced to one of the franchise's best villains. The name's Silva. Raul Silva. Sorry, we had to give it a try.
Subject is not approved for field duty and immediate suspension from service advised. What is this if not betrayal? She sent you off to me knowing you're not ready, knowing you would likely die. Mommy was very bad.
His MI6 career ended when M, the agency's leader, ratted him out to the Chinese government for hacking them. They kept him as a prisoner for several months, fueling Silva's hatred for M.
And then I understood why I had survived. I needed to look in your eyes one last time.
When he resurfaces, he's created a vast criminal empire. He puts MI6's cybersecurity team to shame, captures Bond, and taunts M at every turn.
Of course. It had to be here. It had to be this way. Thank you.
Even though Bond eventually kills him, M still dies from injuries she sustained during one of Silva's prior attacks. So in a way, Silva still gets what he wants. Number 5. My name is Inigo Montoya, the Princess Bride. A fencer whose father was murdered. Inigo Montoya has made it his mission to exact vengeance, and eventually he does. It just takes a little while.
I will go up to the six-fingered man and say, hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Inigo, alongside Vicini and Fezzik, are enlisted in an elaborate plot to capture Buttercup, the titular Princess Bride. Along the way, Inigo finally meets his father's killer, Count Rugen. Inigo then declares that, well, you already know the rest.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
It's an iconic scene not only because of the lines or because Rugen books it right away, but because of Inigo's unwavering devotion to his revenge, even in the face of great injury.
Offer me everything I ask for. Anything you want. I want my father back, you son of a bitch.
Number 4. Framing her husband, Gone Girl. After Amy discovers her husband, Nick Dunn, a college professor, is having an affair with one of his students, Amy finds herself done with their marriage.
He took and took from me until I no longer existed. That's murder.
She devises an intricate plan to fake her death and frame Nick as the murderer. We're no experts on relationships, but this probably isn't the best way to handle things. It's definitely the most entertaining way, though.
And when they find my body, they'll know. Nick Dunn dumped his beloved like garbage, and she floated down past all the other abused, unwanted, inconvenient women.
Her master plan has many moving parts, like writing a fake diary filled with entries about how she's afraid Nick might want to kill her. Eventually, through all of the craziness that unfolds, she reveals she's alive and finds her way back to Nick. It's a happy ending, but only for Amy, as she regains her relationship through some incredibly manipulative tactics.
You're delusional. I mean, you're insane. Why would you even want this? Yes, I loved you, and then all we did was resent each other and try to control each other and cause each other pain.
That's marriage.
Number 3. Don't mess with dogs, John Wick. Retired hitman John Wick just wants to put the past behind him. Is that so much to ask for? We guess so.
How much for the car?
She's not for sale.
Oh, I love dogs. Ufsi was suka yetzveitsana.
Awate suka nietu.
Several thugs ransack his house, but it's not the destruction of property, the trauma of a home burglary, or even the beating he endures that affects John. What really sets him off is when the burglars mess with his dog, Daisy. And that's not just any dog, but the beagle his late wife left for him.
So you can either hand over your son, or you can die screaming alongside him!
Daisy's death reignites John's fury. He doesn't just kill the thugs, he ends up on a path of revenge that would domino effect into multiple films.
All of this for what? Is a sabachki?
Это была не просто собачка.
It's an entire franchise that all started with avenging Daisy's death. But we get it, you don't mess with dogs, period. Number 2, don't lose your head. Kill Bill Volume 1. Kill Bill follows the bride, a former assassin who seeks revenge against Bill, the man who tried to kill her, and her unborn child. Her quest sees her leaving behind a trail of carnage.
Something I've always been curious about. Just between us girls. What did you say to Pai Mei to make him snatch out your eye?
Not only does she take out conspirator L's one good eye, but she also eventually succeeds in killing the titular Bill. However, one of the most over-the-top acts of revenge comes when she kills Oren Ishii, another assassin and the first on her hit list.
Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
They have a dramatic duel to the death amidst the snowy backdrop. It's a pretty close fight, but the bride wins when she takes what we can only describe as a little off the top. And no, we're not talking about haircuts. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Terrorizing the Prom, Carrie. Calling this iconic is honestly an understatement. Carrie is about Carrie White, a teenager with telekinetic powers. Carrie's picked on regularly at school, but things appear to finally be looking up when she becomes prom queen. Unfortunately, though, this is all just a cruel joke. As if the embarrassment wasn't enough, a bucket of pig's blood spills all over her. It's enough to make anyone furious. But for Carrie, the humiliation renders her downright catatonic. She may be the one covered in blood, but that doesn't stop her from drenching the rest of the school in a bloodbath. She continues to use her powers to lock the doors and lets all her years of frustration out on students and teachers alike. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.